Hey guys, Kevin Francisco here again from yugatech.com, and today we'll be taking a look at the Oppo F3, which is the F3 Plus's smaller sibling. Both phones sport similar looks but not exactly identical, especially under the hood. The front is dominated by a 5.5-inch display, which is slightly smaller than the 6-inch F3 Plus. Above it are the earpiece, sensors, and the 16 and 8-megapixel front cameras, while down below is the capacitive home button that doubles as a fingerprint scanner. Covering the entire front is the 2.5D Gorilla Glass 5. On the left is the volume rocker, while the right side has the power and lock button and the tray that can accept 2 nano-sized SIM cards and a microSD card. Looking up top will reveal the secondary microphone, while down at the bottom are the loudspeaker, micro USB port, main microphone, and the headset port. Flip it on its back and you'll see the 13-megapixel camera and its accompanying LED flash. On hand, the F3 is as premium as the F3 Plus. It has a metal body with 2 thread-thin metallic bands that line the contour of the device. The finish is smooth yet able to resist smudge and fingerprints. Since it's shorter, narrower, thinner, and lighter than the F3 Plus, it's easier to hold. The curved sides and edges also make it comfortable for the hands. The F3 uses a typical IPS LCD display with in-cell technology which was developed by LG. Compared to the F3 Plus, the F3 has a smaller screen at 5.5 inches with Full HD resolution. That said, it packs more pixels per square inch than the F3 Plus at 401 ppi. The thin bezels also make the screen pop out, which enhances the device's great colors and good viewing angles. It's also vibrant enough for outdoor use under strong sunlight. Given that it has a great screen, we're glad to report that it has a good loudspeaker. It's loud and rich, which makes it a nice device for watching movies or listening to your tunes on the go. Software is handled by ColorOS version 3.0, which is based on Android 6.0 Marshmallow. If you've used an Oppo phone in the past, the UI uses a simple layout, ditching the app drawer in favor of multiple home screens. It's attractive, easy to use, and employs colorful icons. Even though it's a smaller variant of the F3 Plus, we're glad that Oppo didn't skimp on storage and also equipped it with 64GB worth of internal memory. Pre-installed software are kept to a minimum like basic Google apps, which cannot be uninstalled, and WP Office. With that, you're still left with a sizable 51GB of usable storage out of the box. Should you wish to expand it, there's a dedicated microSD card slot up to 128GB, which is a huge advantage over hybrid types like the F3 Plus. The F3 Plus is equipped with a 13-megapixel f2.2 rear shooter, which is a bit of a downgrade compared to the F3 Plus's 16-megapixel and f1.7. Still, it is capable of producing really good photos with plenty of details and rich colors. It's still good in slightly dim conditions like when the sun is about to set, but shooting in the dark will be pushing it. As for the main stars of the show, the F3 has 2 front cameras for selfies. Just like the F3 Plus, it has a 16-megapixel main shooter and a secondary 8-megapixel wide-angle sensor. The 16MP camera is for high-resolution solo or couple selfies, while the 8-megapixel wide is for group shots. They're generally impressive, but they suffer in low-light situations, especially the wide-angle lens. There's an on-screen flash but not strong enough compared to a dedicated LED flash. When it comes to in-camera features, the F3 has a lot. The rear has HDR, time-lapse, beautify, panorama, Ultra HD, double exposure, GIF, and expert mode. The front camera, on the other hand, has all of that except for Ultra HD and expert mode, but it also has a bokeh effect mode while using the beauty feature. As for video recording, it maxes out at 1080p resolution at 30 FPS. Quality is decent with fairly detailed audio from the microphones. The F3 is powered by MediaTek MT6750T octa-core processor clocked at 1.5 GHz, Mali T860 MP2 GPU, and 4GB of RAM. It's not as powerful as the F3 Plus with its Snapdragon 653 octa-core CPU and Adreno 510 GPU, but it's more than enough to handle the tasks we threw at it. Gaming is not an issue and can run Injustice 2 and Mobile Legends in high settings. However, we noticed that it gets really warm just across the rear camera. Here are the benchmark scores. The F3 comes with your basic connectivity options under the hood. There's 4G LTE, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth. There's also GPS on board, which works well outdoors. What we like the most though is that we can freely use the 2 SIM slots without having to sacrifice a microSD card, unlike the F3 Plus with a hybrid setup. Mobile data works well with support for LTE bands. Call quality is audible thanks to its noise cancellation, and we had no problems in this aspect. Another downgrade of the F3 compared to the F3 Plus is the battery capacity. It only has a 3200 mAh capacity and does not support flash charging, unlike the 4000 mAh battery with VOOC flash charge found on the F3 Plus. Still, it was able to provide us with a good battery life, lasting around 9 hours mostly on Wi-Fi, with heavy social media use and light to moderate use of its camera for photos. Our battery benchmarks got us 9 hours and 49 minutes on PCMark and 13 hours and 31 minutes on the video loop test, which is still good. Charging on the other hand takes a little over 2 hours from 0 to full. The Oppo F3 is a recommendable smartphone for those who are fond of selfies. At 16,990 pesos, it's also a more affordable offering for those who don't have a budget for the Oppo F3 Plus. There are trade-offs, of course, like the weaker MediaTek processor and lower rear camera resolution. Still, it's not all bad since you're also getting some advantages like triple slots, higher pixel density, and smaller, more comfortable build. And that's it for today's review. If you like this video, kindly give us a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Once again, this has been Kevin Francisco, and thanks for watching. See you guys next time.